Hello and welcome my fellow film nerds. My name's Luke and this is my very homemade film nonsense channel, where I review movies, I chat about my favourite films, some of my favourite genres, and I generally rant about my favourite pastime. Now, I really appreciate you spending a bit of time with me, and if for some bonkers reason you do enjoy what I do, or you just want to support this tiny little homemade channel, a like and subscribe is always welcome. That, along with expressing your thoughts on what I talk about via the comment section. So, demonic possession and exorcisms, there is a lot of them about. In fact, I found over 50 movies with either an exorcist scene or a case of possession, and that was from a quick Google search, but I suspect there are hundreds of these type of movies out there. Now, this is a subgenre that I particularly enjoy for a few reasons. Firstly, you always kind of know what you're going to get with these movies, and to me that's actually a real comfort. And then secondly, I think if these movies are done well, they generally have something interesting to say about the world that we live in. And thirdly, they tend not to go on for too long. Generally, you'll have a beginning, a middle and an end, and they wrap up the story within a decent time span. So anyway, that's enough of that. Let's rank the top 10 films with an exorcism scene in. And bear in mind, these are just my thoughts, and I'm in no way just an expert in this. I just love horror movies. I'd love to know what you think, so let's go. And in 10th place, we have The Rite from 2011. It's loosely based on Matt Baglio's book, The Rite, The Making of a Modern Exorcist, which itself is based on actual events as witnessed and recounted by the American, then exorcist in training, Father Gary Thomas. Ultimately, it's a really silly plot and film, but does have a great central performance by the master that is Anthony Hopkins. And in 9th place, we have The Devil Inside from 2012. In 1989, Maria Rossi killed 3 clergymen during an attempted exorcism one fateful night. Now locked in an Italian asylum 20 years later, her daughter pays her a visit to unmask the truth. Is she mentally ill? Or is she truly possessed? As it turns out, 4 demons have actually been racking her soul, and 2 exorcists are determined to get them out. Wonderful movie. And in 8th place, we have The Possession from 2012. This film has an evil box demon who gets out and possesses a kid. So far, so very Exorcist. The big difference here is the priest. In this case, we have an Hasidic Jew played by the one and only Matisheu. Silly, unoriginal, but brilliant all the same. And in 7th place, we have The Last Exorcism from 2010. This film had a tiny little budget, but actually it's a belter of a movie. It has a documentary style and feel to it, and it simply has an exorcist who is called to a farmhouse to perform an exorcism on a farmer's daughter. Now, this exorcist is a bit of a hustler, and he's used to doing fake exorcisms, but this time he's in for a real surprise. And in 6th place, from 2014, we have Deliver Us from Evil. Now, again, this film is based allegedly on a true story, but ultimately it's really a cop drama that does have some really creepy supernatural elements to it. It's got solid jump scares, it's an intense drama, it's quite creepy, and ultimately it's got a possession scene. What more do you want? And in 5th place, we have The Priests from 2015. This film has 2 Korean priests who are in a complete dilemma. They can't decide whether the girl under their care has either been molested or is possessed. And then they realise it may be a combination of the two. And they go forth and perform an exorcism without understanding what they're doing. And in 4th place, we have The Pope's Exorcist from 2023. This wonderful movie featuring Russell Crowe doing a wacky Italian accent, to me was a real slice of fun. I really recommend it. Again, it's silly. It is the most unoriginal film I've seen in a long time, but I really enjoyed it. And in 3rd place, we have Constantine from 2005. It's not really a horror movie, but what it does have is lots of demons who get sent back to hell via Keanu Reeves. who is a kind of cynical mystic. Now, the film is based on the amazing comics Hellblazers, and if you haven't read them, I really recommend you do. I thought this was a great film that kind of went under the radar a little bit. And in second place, we have The Exorcist of Emily Rose from 2005. Now, from the very beginning of this film, it's made very clear that the title character dies following exorcisms performed by Father Moore. The film itself is an adaptation of a true story of a German teenager who suffered through 67 exorcisms over the course of 1 year. It's actually quite a disturbing movie, but brilliant at the same time. And in first place, of course, it's The Exorcist. William Friedkin's classic is so much more than a scary movie. It's an enthralling and intense drama with characters you really care about. It's an amazing vomit-spewing, bed-shaking masterpiece that shocked at the time and continues to shock audiences, and has literally caused viewers to have seizures in the theatre. After half a century, followed by loads of rip-offs, remakes, reimaginings and recycled material, it is at its heart about the thrill of a young girl who really becomes a little bit mental, and her mother's desperation and a priest's unresolved grief, and it pulsates with an alarming intensity. It is an incredible piece of cinema and remains to this day one of my favourite ever movies. Well, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. As I mentioned, a like and subscribe is always welcome, and I'll see you all on the next one. Take care, everyone.